At some point, your dog tried to talk to you, not with words, but with their eyes, with silence, with the way they followed you everywhere. And the truth is, you did notice. You just didn't understand. But what if I told you they were saying something important, something urgent, something you still have time to hear? Because right now, they're watching you, waiting, hoping you finally understand before it's too late, before the silence becomes permanent and their voice disappears forever, without you ever truly listening till the very end today. So stay with me. Till the very end, dogs don't speak your language. But the truth is, they never needed to, because everything they feel, they show, not loudly, not dramatically, but in the smallest, quietest ways you almost ignore. That slow tail wag when the room is silent, not excitement, but comfort. The way they sit beside you, without asking for anything, not boredom, but presence. And the way they look at you, like you are their entire world, like nothing else matters, like losing you isn't even something they can imagine. That's not random, that's not habit, that's communication, pure, honest, unfiltered communication. Every movement, every glance, every moment they choose to stay close to you is them speaking, saying things you were never taught to hear. I'm here. I trust you. I feel safe. You matter to me more than anything. But here's the part no one tells you. This language is easy to miss because it doesn't demand attention, it doesn't make noise, it doesn't interrupt your busy life, it just exists quietly, waiting for you to notice. And most people, they walk past it every single day. They see the dog, but they don't see the message. They feel the presence, but they don't understand the meaning. And without realizing it, they ignore a love so real, so constant, that one day they would do anything to experience it again. When your dog rests their head on you, that gentle weight, that quiet moment, they're not just being cute. They're saying, I feel safe with you. This is where I belong. This is home. And you might smile, maybe pet them for a second, and then go back to your phone, your thoughts, your world. But for them, that moment was everything. When they follow you everywhere, from room to room, step by step, even to places where you wish they wouldn't. They're not being annoying, they're not being clingy, they're saying, you're my world. If you move, I move. Because being near you is the safest place I know. They don't understand distance the way you do. They don't think, I'll see you later. All they know is, right now, you're here, and they don't want that to change. And then there are those moments when they sit there, completely still, just looking at you. No barking, no jumping, no demands, just watching. And you assume they want food, or attention, or something simple, but that's not it. They're trying to understand you, your mood, your energy, the tone in your voice, the silence you don't even notice. They're reading you in ways no human ever tries to, trying to figure out, are you okay? Did I do something wrong? Do you still need me here? Because to them, your emotions matter more than their own. And then there are the signs you miss completely. The way they come sit near you when you're sad, without making a sound. The way they get excited, not because of food, but because you walk through the door. The way they wait, patiently, for even the smallest moment of your attention. These aren't habits, these aren't instincts. This is love, in its purest form, unspoken, unconditional, uncomplicated. But here's the hard truth. Most people never answer back, not because they don't care, but because they don't realize there's something to respond to. They see actions, but miss the meaning. They feel the presence, but ignore the connection. And slowly, without even noticing, they leave that silent conversation unanswered. Until one day, there's nothing left to respond to. One day, something changes, not all at once. Not in a way that shocks you, but slowly, quietly, almost unnoticeable at first. They don't follow you like before. That familiar sound of paws behind you starts fading. You walk into another room, and for the first time, they don't come. You pause, just for a second, but then you brush it off. Maybe they're just tired. But it's more than that. They don't look at you the same way anymore. That intense, unbreakable gaze, the one that once followed your every move, now feels softer, distant, like they're trying, but don't have the same strength. They move slower. Getting up takes effort. Lying down takes time. Even the smallest things you never noticed before, now feel different, quieter. And then one day, it hits you. Not in a loud moment, not with some dramatic realization, but in silence. You look around and something feels missing. No one is waiting at the door the same way. No shadow quietly following you from room to room. No gentle nudge asking for nothing, just to be close. And suddenly, you miss it. Not the big moments, but the small ones. The constant presence you never questioned. The silent love that never asked for attention. The little things you thought would always be there. And now, they're not. Or they're fading. Right in front of you. And that's when it finally hits you. Every look, every step, every quiet moment they chose to stay near you meant something. They were talking all along. In a language made of loyalty, of trust, of love so simple, you thought it would last forever. But you were busy, distracted, living your life, while they quietly made you their whole world, and now you would give anything to hear it again, to notice it again, to respond just once more. But time doesn't wait, and neither do moments like these. They pass, silently, just like they came. And in the end, you're left with a truth that hurts more than anything else. They never stopped talking. You just didn't listen. Until it was almost too late. Dogs don't need words to love you. They never did. Because what they feel, they show every single day in the way they wait for you. Like you're the most important part of their world. In the way they sit beside you, asking for nothing, but choosing you anyway. In the way they look at you, with a kind of love that doesn't question, doesn't doubt, doesn't fade with time. And the most heartbreaking part? It's all so simple, so quiet, so easy to miss, that most people do. They overlook it, they delay it, they assume it will always be there. But it won't. Because one day, without warning, without a big moment to prepare you, it changes. Those looks become softer, slower, rarer. That excitement fades into stillness. That constant presence becomes an empty space you can't ignore anymore. And suddenly, you remember everything. Every time they looked at you, and you were too busy. Every time they came close, and you didn't notice. Every silent moment. That was actually full of meaning. And it stays with you. Not the noise of life, but the silence you didn't understand. So next time your dog looks at you, pause. Not for a second, but really pause. Look into their eyes, the way they've always looked at you. And this time, don't just see them. Feel what they're trying to say. Answer them, even if it's just with your presence, because to them, that's everything. And one day, when those looks are gone, when that silent voice disappears forever, you won't wish for more time. You'll wish you had understood sooner, at some point in your life. Your dog tried to talk to you, not with words, but through their actions, through the way they followed you everywhere, the way they sat beside you without asking for anything, the way they looked at you like you were their entire world. Dogs don't speak your language, but they never needed to, because everything they feel, they show. When they rest their head on you, they're saying, I feel safe. When they follow you, they're saying, you're my world. When they quietly watch you, they're trying to understand you, your mood, your energy, your silence. But most people don't realise this. They see the behaviour, but miss the meaning. They feel the presence, but don't respond to it. And then one day, something changes. The following stops. The looks become softer. The energy fades. And suddenly, you notice what was always there. The constant love. The silent connection. The little moments you once ignored. That's when it hits you. They were always talking in a language made of trust, loyalty, and unconditional love. But you were too busy to truly listen. And now, you would give anything just to experience it again. Dogs don't need words to love you. They show it every single day in the simplest ways. So next time your dog looks at you, don't just look back. Understand, because one day those moments will be gone, and all you'll have left is the memory of what they were trying to say.